What's up guys, Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, finally a VOD review actually on somebody's channel. We are on Setsuko's channel, VOD reviewing him today, not using my VOD picker tool, because somebody suggested this VOD and I just thought, okay, you know what? I took a peek at it, it looks absolutely insane, and Setsuko is somebody where when he plays an insane game, you've gotta watch it, you gotta lock in and see what Setsuko is doing. So we start here with this Rennie. He even holds on to the Rennie Singed here with the idea of just being really, really excited about playing into Chem Baron if the possibility arises. Chem Baron's been nerfed pretty hard, but I mean, in Mel's Blessing, and I think that's Setsuko's idea, is that he would be very, very excited to potentially play for it. I'm actually quite surprised on this unit priority already to start off. He doesn't want to hold Steb Pair Trundle in this spot, which is just wild to me. Like, it feels bad to sell the GP, but I mean, I honestly, I hate Chem Baron enough that I would be down to probably sell it, but I mean, it certainly makes sense to hold it in this spot. But yeah, I'm shocked he doesn't hold Steb Pair here already, but he just says, you know, GP is too strong of an early game unit. I can't actually sell him in this spot, so we're just going to chill on this board and hold on to the Trundle. Ends up missing out on, we can't say he missed out on a Steb 2, but maybe. But I mean, I guess the idea is that, I mean, like, you can't sell GP as a unit. With how strong Scrap is, it's just non-negotiable. So the only unit you could sell is Rennie, and he wanted to hold on to Rennie, which, you know, if you say it like that, makes sense. Selling the Kog'Maw here to buy out the rest of the shop makes sense. So first augment here, Tower Defense, Raining Gold, Patient Study, all great options. Honestly, we have the Tear and the Bow here, which wants to lean something AP, I would say, but doesn't have to be. You know, if you want to play Scrap from this spot, perfectly reasonable. Raining Gold and Patient Study, I think, are both okay. Tower Defense is really, really high cap, and so I think that is a pretty reasonable pickup for Setsuko here, and he does pick it up, and he gets Academy +1, checks items, and we have Shiv, Gwinsu, that was Declaw, I believe. So actually a really, really nice opener as well, with all the stuff that we got going on here. Can fit the GP in, fit the Rennie in here for Bruiser. Actually gonna play the Pit Fighter Conk here, just because, yeah, I mean, Conqueror, a nice trait to fit onto the board, Pit Fighter as well, so you get a double trade in here, which makes sense, and we also have enough frontline already, so I think this makes perfect sense, and we're gonna scrap the ball into the GP. So a great opener already. 0 Academy units so far, which is obviously a bit awkward, but it's actually probably going to be a while until Academy is our strongest board. I mean, you know, even if this board, even if we had like a Lux 2 here, would we be able to play it? I mean, yeah, I guess you could cut like Draven or GP or something, but I mean, those units are so hard to cut here. And yes, that's just going to sell off the rest of the units in his shop. Hold on to this Bruiser pair as a potential, you know, level up here, which is, yeah, I mean, the best thing to hold, and we'll chill on these Conqueror stacks. I will say, Setsuko, among all people, and yeah, actually gonna hold the Darius pair here over the Seb pair. I mean, I think this makes perfect sense. You have the potential of maybe getting to an even better Conqueror board down the line, maybe a 4 Conqueror board if we can get there. And you know, there's Setsuko is confident enough that his board is good enough. With the upgrade, with these 2 3-stars, or 3 costs that are quite good on his board, he's pretty confident in his board. The only downside to his spot is that this augment right now is nothing. It is just a dummy that shoots, which, I mean, in many ways, that's actually not nothing. Dummy that shoots is actually not bad. But I mean, this GP, this Swain are doing so much work on this board. So Setsuko says, you know what? I'm stable enough. I don't need the 2-star Bruiser to potentially play holding on to that Seb pair. I'll just hold the Darius pair and play for like max cap. If I ever get a rel, I have the potential to play for 4 Conquer. And Setsuko, I mean, he's such a good player at playing high cap and such a good player at playing strong early that, yeah, I mean, I think I'm not surprised. We do actually have the Reroll and Carousel here if we want, and yeah, Setsuko is going to pick it up. Now, the only question is, how does one actually fit this on the board here? Because you don't, like, to fit this, you're going to cut Trundle 2 here. It's a bit crazy, but he's going to go for it. You lose out on Scrap. You do get 4 Conquering, which is big. And the only fear is if, you know, we end up losing a fight because we do this. But yeah, he's going to play the 4 Conk on this board. Actually tries to make a swap. No need to scrap this item. And, you know, we're going to make the red buff slam. I mean, the other nice thing about Setsuko making this this play, and I think the really, really smart kind of like meta way of thinking about this setup is, we're in Mel's Blessing, right? So many people are actually going to default to playing a pretty weak board this early in the game. You can see even boards like this, you know, no item slammed, Vanilla on a 5 streak with no item slammed, Pocky also 100 streaking as well. So we're going to hope that we fight the last place person. But in general, this portal rewards people who play a little bit weaker. You know, this person here has 0 items slammed. A lot of people in this lobby have no items slammed. So why not play the super greedy route into that and just play 4 Conquer as soon as you can, get all these stacks. Look at that, 33 stacks already. And Pocky ends up losing his streak. Vanilla ends up keeping his streak. So I don't know. I just think a very, very smart way to play around Mel's Blessing is, most people are going to be lost streaking in Mel's Blessing. So why not just use that to get a really, really free win streak from the red buff slam? So yeah, looks really, really nice. We still have the Trundle that we can get in probably almost certainly next round. Pick up a glove here, which is a solid AD item. Cassiopeia here, we don't really care about. And yeah, I don't think you do make 50 gold in this spot, lose out on Darius pair. Doesn't seem correct here. So I think you just chill on this, and we have the level up here. As far as like AD items to make, you have a Last Whisper that you could make and then scrap the glove and be pretty happy about it. Outside of that, I don't know. I mean, if you, we have this Academy +1. That's going to inform our line, but I mean, Academy can use whatever items, right? It can use, AD items onto Ezreal. We probably, like, holding onto the tier is actually really, really nice because then we can greed for a potential blue buff down the line. And as far as like building Academy items, I don't think it's like, I'm not that excited to build like a double static Shiv in a spot like this, just because I'd much rather just build good items. So yeah, gonna continue the streak here. 48 stacks on the Conquer. Still not one Academy unit picked up this game, by the way, so still dead Augment right now. And we go to Prismatic here. Oh my god. Okay, sponging, Pit Fighter, and quality over quantity. I mean, I don't think we're gonna take Pit Fighter or sponging. Quality over quantity also seems pretty rough, just because we're probably gonna have too many items late game. I mean, for now it's pretty decent. We can scrap an item, move some of these other items over. So maybe, I mean, hopefully we get something better in our other options. We do pick up Leona too there. It's nice. But yeah, he did default to quality over quantity as his last option here. He was open to taking this, but now we get Coronation. I think that is probably just going to be the take. An extra unit slot is so nice. We can actually get the Leona in right now onto this board. So I'm actually really, really surprised he's thinking as long as he is on this. I wonder what he was actually considering in that spot, because I mean, it seems crazy to me consider anything else. We do also pick up an Elise here, and so he's going to fit that in. That's kind of a weird setup. I don't know if this is really strongest board, because we just lost, we lost Scrap for not, I mean, just to play Elise. I don't really think that's better. I mean, I think the ideal board plays this Trundle. Oh my god, that was so close, by the way. I feel like the ideal board plays both of these units, but yeah, I mean, Setsuko is just going to level to do it. I mean, I think this makes a lot of sense. This allows us to play everything here, which is what we want. We want to be able to fit for Conquer. He's considering cutting the Elise here to fit in Academy. Your first Academy item here is Static Shiv, I believe. I don't think it's actually high value enough that you can cut Elise here. So yeah, I think we're just going to continue to sit on this board. He's also holding a lot of interesting stuff on bench here. I wonder if some of this other stuff is going to get sold. Obviously, we need to hold on to these Academy units, but like Nami and other kind of stuff, we're actually, yeah, I think this makes a lot more sense. Sell these off. He even sold off, what was that? That was Ezreal he sold off. Wow, I'm actually completely shocked he sold Ezreal here, but his thought is like, it's still pretty long until Ezreal is my strongest board, so why would I hold on to it? You do have the blue buff as an option here if you want to. Wow, he's not going to go for it. I mean, that's Swain pair, and it's, I mean, potentially Redemption as a frontline item. I mean, there's a Zoe as well, which, I mean, she's a sorcerer. Yeah, you can do something like this, I guess. But that does, I mean, he is pretty far. I think this makes a lot of sense. We're pretty far into Conquer at this point, right? The, like how many, we're 78 stacks. Our odds of getting to 100 stacks are not that high. And I mean, look at this nice board that we get to fit in here. We get to fit Rebel in on this board. We get to fit Sork in here as well. We get another Bruiser onto the board, which is pretty nice. We still have Scrap in. We still have the Elise in, who's fitting Form Swapper in as well. And we get to fit in 3 Academy here. Like, this board fits beautifully. And yeah, like, our odds of getting to 100 stacks, I mean, we probably could. But I mean, we'd much rather just, continue our streak. And like, if we end up losing fights against really strong boards like this, then, maybe we wouldn't even get to 100 stacks. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I mean, we do win this fight, and I mean, you can probably say that this was a board diff, like, getting this in made the difference in us winning this fight. He also considering getting 4 Bruiser in here over the Rebel. I think I do like it better. Yeah, 4 Bruiser over Rebel here. It's Rebel. Yeah, it's just Rebel. Oh, it's Rebel Sentinel, actually. Rebel Sentinel, yeah. You probably do still play this then. If it was just Rebel, if we didn't have this Leona, but we do. So I think this makes sense. Still scrapping this component, and this is our last fight for 100 streak. The Elise is actually so big in this matchup, by the way. One of the biggest counters to the Renata comp, just CCing the entire board, and so it's going to be a big pickup here for Setsuko. That is the full 100 streak. Vanilla also 100 streaking, which is just, I'm sure there will be somebody, there's probably some people yapping. Yep, I'm looking at his chat in the bottom left. 2 people 100 streak for fun. I'm sure Setsuko is complaining about it as well, which, I mean, it is a bit crazy. It's kind of interesting what we're holding on to as well. Still holding on to the Nami. There's the Ezreal as well. Finds, you know, another GP here, but I mean, the second we find Alawi, that has to be strongest board. So yeah, he's going to pivot into this really, really nice board. 5 Rebel, 4 Academy, 4 Sentinel. Going to make the IE over onto Ezreal. Going to put the red buff onto him as well. And then we have these kind of like tank items left to build. I mean, I don't even really hate like Redemption Adaptive that much just to get some tank items built in this spot. And yeah, he's going to build both. I think that makes perfect sense. On his board, he's 50 gold, 100 streaking here, 100 HP. And if he wins this fight, we're almost on the way to level 9. We still have a lot of upgrades left to find though. So I'm actually really curious to see how Setsuko is going to navigate this. But okay. We win that fight. Let's go into final augment here. Moonlight, yeah, not a big fan of. Mace's Will, we don't really need more items in this spot. I mean, little buddies, you can make a pretty good argument for it. We're playing around Lux, we're playing Leona, we're playing Aurelia. Like, we're probably gonna play these 3 units a large portion of the game. So I think little buddies, and you could even potentially play this. We have the +1. I like little buddies here a good bit. The only downside of little buddies is it doesn't necessarily play for strongest board. But I mean, it's not Tarot grab bag. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna take support cash here. Okay, I mean, this, I think the idea just has to be, and then like what? Aegis? Chalice of Power? Chalice? Aegis? I'd be shocked if it was another one. Yeah, Aegis here seems decent enough. And we're going to throw it onto Frontline, actually. The Frontline Aegis, more AP onto Alawi is nice, more AP onto the Elise is nice, more mana for these Frontliners, get them casting. Makes a lot of sense as well. Okay, I like it. Yeah, I mean, between that and Little Buddies, I think the tiebreaker at the end of the day for Setsuko is, I mean, if we look at our damage chart this round, like, Zoe dealt good damage, but Ezreal's doing a ton of damage. Like, taking an augment like Little Buddies that only plays into a couple of our units is a little bit rough. We do have the Heimerdinger now, could potentially, I mean, down the line level for him. He also, yeah, we could just at this point decide to get out of the Elise. I mean, it's only Bruiser on this board. Wow. I'm surprised. I'm quite surprised that this is the call from Setsuko to not play 5 Academy here and to continue to actually just play around this Elise. He values this unit so highly. And, you know, like the front line that she provides, he's just saying, if I end up playing Heimer, I'm actually not going to have enough front line. I mean, this is what Setsuko is so good at, is determining like weird little things like this that actually allow him to play strongest board. But I mean, we have the Heimerdinger now, still pretty far off blue buff, actually. We're probably never going to get to the blue buff for Heimer. But, you know, we can still play for him as our ideal, you know, 5 Academy, 6 Academy setup. You know, we'll see what we end up getting to. Sword here can be, I mean, it can just end up being a Giant Slayer. We'll see what it ends up being. Starts to pre-level a bit, but I mean, not really necessary. Not going to level this round. Also holding on to the Loris here for maybe 6 Sentinel down the line. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we can get out of here. We still, yeah, I mean, we have a lot of the pieces in already. So like Elise and Set, you know, we can eventually get out of 5 Rebel is usually the dream in a comp like this. And yeah, just play around 6 Sentinel and as many academies as you can fit onto the board and be very happy with it. So we'll see. Eventually, hopefully getting off this Zoe as well, just because, I mean, yeah, we have the Academy +1. We'd like to take advantage of it. But okay, I guess what's interesting is Anomaly here. I mean, we're probably gonna have to take something for Alawi, or you could just put the Heimerdinger in and then start making that swap this round. So we'll see what he wants to do. I mean, I think Magic Training is like not amazing. Calling Card is an interesting idea. Calling Card here, it can give either Rebel or Sentinel. I mean, yeah, you definitely prefer Sentinel here. Wow, I mean, I don't mind it. Yeah, I think this is really smart. We do hit the Rebel, which is pretty tough, but I mean, we're gonna cut the Elise at this point. This makes perfect sense. And I mean, genius from Setsuko. He held onto the Akali this entire time. And so now he actually gets to play 7 Rebel on this board. Ooh, and he's yeah, he's going to fit the Vex in as well, just to get a little bit of Visionary onto the board. But look at this, actually, 7 Rebel on this board with the Academy +1, just because he pulled up the Rebel +1 from Calling Card. I mean, this is such a nice pivot from Setsuko to say, you know what, I need to play around this Rebel +1. I already have the Zoe that I can play around. I'm going to play 7 Rebel now. The big question at this point is, what is our final board even going to be? And we can still play some more Academy units to get extra items onto them. We could even start cutting Academy units and get to 6 Sentinel as well. I mean, there's a lot of different options here. He's going to level for the Elise, but I mean, we have to roll, right? There is no way we can go fast 10 on this board, on an entirely 1-star board. We definitely need to roll very soon. So I think next round we're going to do a lot of rolling here to try to find some upgrades, find Alawi pretty quickly, find Set as well. Really need damage at this point. There's Jinx, who's got to get onto this board. He's gonna end up removing items off Ezreal, which makes a lot of sense. Elise too ends up actually getting built onto this board, which, I mean, she is at the end of the day, a 2-star unit is pretty good. We have the sword open. He was looking for maybe something like a Shojin onto the Jinx to just get her casting, but it's going to be Warmogs and then Giant Slayer. I mean, this is beautiful. We finish a tank item off for Alawi, and we finish off a damage item for Jinx. Only downside is she is pretty slow to cast here, with, you know, no real way of having her generate mana, but I mean, you can live with it. There's a LeBlanc who he's considering getting in here. Setsuko is cooking, man. We have this Rebel +1 still that's going to move over to Elise. That makes a lot of sense, just as a good unit that uses the AP pretty decently. He's holding on to Powder for some reason as well. I don't know what the idea behind Powder is, if there's some way that Powder can fit on this board. I mean, you'd love to fit Ambusher. You do have the IE onto Jinx, so it's not like night or day to have the Ambusher, but I mean, it's still decent, but I don't know. I mean, I guess Rumble Powder is this idea of fitting that. I guess so, but we'll see. I mean, this is such a nice flex game from Setsuko, man. Like the Academy +1, but the 7 Rebel, there's Ezreal 2 here. Also, wow, we're really not going to roll here just because, I mean, I really want to do a quick full scout of the lobby here, just to see. I mean, it looks like Vanilla is the only person who's holding. Oh, actually, I think he scouted someone else there who's holding Zoe, because I saw Vanilla was holding. Yeah, Vanilla is holding a Zoe too. Vanilla ended up playing Vertical Sorks this game. I think that's the only person holding Zoe, so it's only 3 Zoes out. I'm pretty surprised that Setsuko isn't actually rolling here for Zoe too, but his idea must be, you know what? I'm 66 HP. My goal this game should be to go 10 and play for first. Like, why would I roll for Zoe 2 when I could just, you know, try to win the lobby, especially because my board already level 9 with, you know, an extra unit in with really nice traits in was quite strong. Now, this is maybe a fight where you would have wanted that Zoe too. So, you know, that's why I'm, you know, interested in it potentially. Also, oh, that's Singed almost clutching out that fight. But okay, we'll see. There is the Zoe on Carousel, which Setsuko wants so badly. Yeah, I mean, he could potentially get it. Yeah, I mean, it would be so nice if he can. Yeah, and that's huge. Okay, so that's the Zoe 2. Now he doesn't have to roll at all. He's got the Warmogs here, which is probably just going to fit onto the Elise. Fantastic item. And now we can really look at actually pushing level 10 in this spot, getting in a 6 cost here, getting in, I don't know, a random Echo, maybe Echo plus Rumble type setup maybe, but I don't know. Either way, I think it's, I mean, his spot is looking fantastic. We do fight a pretty scary Ambusher board with Victor with 3-star on the Smeech. Our bird doesn't have all that much single target damage, so it's a little bit scary killing the Smeech, but hopefully we have enough just kind of like random damage to kill him. But we don't. Yeah. This is actually a really tough matchup for us. This is a match where we need to be level 10 and get something like a Warwick in, something like a Victor in. Warwick tends to be fantastic on these type of boards just because he can execute. You know, Zoe gets units really low in the backline, Jinx gets units randomly really low in the backline, and Warwick can then execute those units, you know, take advantage of that. So I think that makes a lot of sense as a potential in there. Vanilla also getting pretty low here, surprisingly. Went a similar, probably fast 9 route as Setsuko. And I mean, his board doesn't look bad. He's playing that 6 Sork for, is he playing not Enforcer, Emissary? I don't know, but he's dead. Wow. 100 streak into 5th is actually heartbreaking for Vanilla. I don't know what happened in his game, but his board just wasn't strong enough, I mean, to beat Setsuko. And I mean, this is what Setsuko is so good at, capping his board out and winning lobbies. Like, he's just so good at, you know, knowing how to play to the max cap. I mean, you know, the not rolling for the Zoe 2 and then getting Zoe 2 off Carousel was huge. And now we can look at, you know, potentially pushing, you know, the final level here. Pick up another Warmogs, actually. Triple Warmogs set up this game, which is pretty crazy. But I mean, it's a 3rd item onto the Elise. We have enough damage, especially if we get to a Jinx 2 on 10. So who really cares about itemizing Ezreal in this spot? We'd much rather just have more frontline in the Elise. Elise actually great positioning here from Setsuko. It's on the same side as the Zeri here, and it does end up stunning the Zeri. Now, is that enough? This board is so tanky. Another board where we kind of lack the single target damage to get through stuff like the Scar. Yeah, we really need some way of just getting through these really beefy tanks, but maybe level 10 is the answer. We'll see here. Level up here, pick up a Jace here to get the 5 Academy into the board here. We're gonna play Echo as well. End up, yeah, getting out of some of these Academy units. LeBlanc just way too good to pass up here. And he got his cash out, by the way. We finally got our Mel cash out. It was a fawn, man. He's double fawn with the Augment, the one that gives a Tactician Crown already. That is so insane here, actually. Like, oh my god. And it's just like he has so many units on his board. This fight really close as well. It's crazy that it came to 6-1 is when he finally got that proc, but just goes to show. Also thought about getting Jinx in for a second, but the second we hit getting Tristan in, but the second we hit Jinx too, yeah, this has got to be the board. But yeah, a cool just, I don't know, such a nice board. Also so smart to realize like, yeah, Lux is 5 Academy, but who cares about 5 Academy? I'd much rather just play LeBlanc on my board and get her ability to help us spread the damage. It's just so much better. We fight the Smeech board again. Hopefully now we finally have enough damage. This fight actually pretty scary. Oh my god. We just got CC locked and all of our backline died before our tanks. Maybe? No, I mean, I don't think Alawi at least can get through it. So we're going to have at least one more fight against this guy. I think our board is stronger. That was just a rough positioning setup and also just like bad fight RNG. TG, Even Shroud. He has LW. Yeah, he actually just ends up taking the Enforcer +1. Goes for the Reforge. Wait, it's Academy +1. Wait, that's actually sick. And gets the Rumble in on this board. And gonna get Heimerdinger in as well here to get 6 Academy. Yeah, ends up cutting the LeBlanc just because, I mean, yeah, 6 Academy, you gotta play it. Throws it onto the Rumble. I mean, no way, man. I mean, the game could not end in any other way for Setsuko of the perfect Reforge. I mean, he's played such a good game. He deserves it. So I will not complain about that whatsoever. Smeech, doing a lot of Smeech stuff on the back line. I think we're good though, and yeah, it is the dub for Setsuko. I mean, just a crazy game. I don't know, just such a cool way of building out a board in TFT. I think he just did a fantastic job of, one of the best ways to play TFT is just slowly building your board, slowly making it better and better and better over time. That's exactly what Setsuko did this game. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Metafy and all my other links down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Like the video. All right, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.